So good afternoon again. Thank you guys for joining us from wherever you're joining us from. This is our 10th session, and we've been having these sessions bringing together engineers in different domains, especially network engineering, and sharing our knowledge in the different domains that we can. So we've been having these sessions. So we normally have these sessions 2 times a month, that is after 2 weeks. And we encourage any one of you who feel they have something to share with the team. This is just a platform for sharing knowledge, empowering each other, and inspiring other engineers, especially the fresh graduates who are coming in from campus, so that they know what to learn, they know the skills that they need. They can learn from the senior engineers who are already in the field. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate your presence, and thank you so much for always taking time to join this session. In our last session, we had Krishna. I saw him on the audience discussing about network automation, just basics of network automation. And we know that many companies, many telecommunication companies are adopting network automation so that they can make their process more efficient. They can reduce the human errors and even reduce on the cost. Because when you do them manually, then it means you could end up having some human errors. So in that session, we just touched a bit about Python. Python is one of the languages that is most commonly used in network automation. And that's why today we have David introducing us to the basics of Python and even doing some simulations to show us how we can use Python as network engineers and do some network automation. So thank you so much for making time again to join this session. Before I invite David, some rules that you have to follow because we need to make the session more clear without any form of distractions. So just ensure that your mics are muted. If you have any question, always feel free to raise up your hand. You can send the question on the chat and we will always respond to all of your questions. So if you have any question, just raise up your hand. I believe David will also be having questions, like we'll be having breaks where you can now ask your questions. I encourage David to have those sessions so that we pick questions from the audience, we address few questions as we move so that we also don't accumulate so many questions on the chat. So just keep your mic muted. Whenever you have a question, raise up your hand or wait until David has a break for the questions and then you can come in with your questions. We encourage all of us to actively participate, ask questions, respond to questions, share your experiences. We are here to share knowledge with each other. So if you have something that you feel you can share with the team, feel free to raise up your hand and share your knowledge with the rest of us. I believe that is clear. So I will invite David to take it over and take us through the session of today. David, you can take it up from there.
Thank you, Martin. So I'm going to share my screen, then you'll let me know once you can see it.
Okay, still not yet. Yes, we are unable to see your screen.
Okay. Let me also open my camera. Thinks that's the flow. Okay, so um, I'm going to take you through how you can use Python for network automation. So what you're going to start with is basics of Python. So that is getting started with Python from scratch. After that, we are going to do a few examples. For the examples, I'm going to use Juniper. I have Juniper Virtual Junos on GNS3. I'm going to use that, and I'll also share on how you can have the same configuration for it. I'm going to use very simple examples, that is just configuring interfaces, since the whole purpose of the session is to understand how to play around with Python. So just as I've mentioned, we're going to use NetMiko first, then netconf, then REST. So why Python? Okay, the reason why it's very easy to get to use Python is because it's a very simple language. It's almost close to normal English. The same way you will converse with someone is almost the same way you will write code. It doesn't have a very complicated syntax as compared to other languages, and also you can easily get started with it as simple as one line, and you're able to print a statement, which is usually the main entry point for most of the people into programming. So let's say the first thing you'll definitely do is printing hello world. If you compare it to other languages, like say Java, you'll have to make a very for Java, you'll need about 10 lines to only print the same thing that you will use only one line in Python. The other thing with Python, it has a lot of support. There's a big community and many libraries are made for it. Yeah, then where we will go to network automation, the reasons already are very clear. And it will also help you as a person, save more time and all of that. So I'm going to do simple examples for Python first, which is the very basics of it. Then from that, you're going to talk about OOP, which is object-oriented programming, based on someone had asked this question during the last session. I don't remember his name, but we are going to have a discussion about that. So let me share a different screen. Let me know once it's visible. Yes, good.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So first, we're going to see something on variables. Then we go to lists, dictionaries, conditions, loops, and what functions are. So it's okay. If you want to write, you can either do it on on the interpreter. There's an interpreter when you do Python 3. Once you do this, the first thing you'll definitely need to do if it's your first time writing Python is hello world. I don't know where this came from. I think it was something like a presentation of the first computer. So that will be, let's say, your first line of code. After that, it's now understanding about variables. So variables are sort of like boxes where we put information in. You can update it. Maybe if you are storing, you will maybe want to store different types of information. So that could be a number. It could also be a string, which is most of the information you exchange is mainly a number or a string. Then the others will be list dictionaries, which we now are going to use more. So maybe if you're for a number in Python, it's not like other languages where you need to define a type for a variable. So maybe you can just say number is equals to 4. Then you can print variable, print number, it will print 4. Maybe you can check the type of that variable, which is an integer. Another thing now going to strings is name, and say name is can use Martin. We have 2 very active Martins in the community, so I'll use their name. Name Martin, then you can print name. You can also check the type of your variable. So type of name, which is string. For other languages, you might have to define clearly what you're trying to do. If you are making a variable to hold a string, like say in Java, you have to say string name. If you are doing a number, you have to say integer age, integer money, or integer coins, something like that, for anything that you need to represent a number with. So that's basically the basics of that is the basics under variables. I don't know if there are any questions on that. Just want to go faster and high level so that we can come from
Yes,
any concept.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you are not defining the type when you are declaring that variable, and
Yeah.
now I want to do an operation, for example, multiplication or division, at that point, do I have now to declare that, yes, this is an integer and I want to do this operation on this as an integer, or I just proceed to do the operation?
Okay. So Python abstracts most of the things, and actually, funny enough, you can even do an operation on a string with a number. So if you have a number, let's say a is equals to 2, b is equals to 4, you can proceed and do ab, which will give you 8. Should I zoom or it's visible?
You can zoom a little bit, actually. That will be better. For it's visible, yes, but if you can make it bigger, that will be better.
Okay, maybe you can even use different place, which could be so remote control here. So maybe I can start. then A times B. So that this is what you are imagining, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you can proceed to do that. But let's say if you have A and you want four A's, let's say vowel is equals to A, and then you want 4 times vowel, you get 4 A's.
Okay, that is clear.
So that's also something else you can do. Um, any questions under variables?
Any question from the audience about variables?
Okay, then yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you do the 2 plus vowel?
2 plus, let's try. It's not possible. It says it's an
So
integer and a string, so you can't do
why
plus.
first one is working, second one is not working?
Okay, it's not something I can explain, but okay, let me try and explain it. So the first one works because it sees it like you are trying to produce 4 times what you have here. You see, A's become 4. It's not simply 4 times vowel remains A. But maybe actually it should, ideally, in my imagination, it should have done something like given an output like 4A. Because if you have so this is concatenation. So if I have my first name, maybe I could say, what's your first name?
Krishna.
Second.
You can say Pal, P-A-L.
Or we can spell. So if you have 2 strings, you can do first name plus second name and concatenate the two, put the two together. So you can say first name plus a space plus second name. But you can't do that for different types. So plus doesn't have it. Yeah.
Thank you. So string is just like concatenating. It's not multiplied actually. It's just concatenate. Yes.
Yes, technically it is. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Okay. But when we are reading 2 plus vowel, it means like operation, or you can say operation symbol is came plus. Yes.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why it's not working. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone raised their hand.
Davis?
Yeah, not a question, just to go back on how Python handles typesetting. At the core, Python is an interpreted language. Unlike Java, the rest where you can do, you must do variable type association at declaration. For Python, it's interpreted during runtime. So the error you're getting on the unsupported operand is because you're trying to concatenate an integer and a string that was interpreted by the using the Python interpreter during runtime. So that is why you're getting the error. Yeah, I hope that answers Krishna.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Davis, for that. Any other questions? Okay, if there are none, we can talk about So a list is a way to put, let's say you have like interfaces. One device has 10 interfaces. So it only makes sense to store, since they are all of the same type and they are all the same thing, the same way it would have been fruits or students. So you can place ports or let's say interfaces under one list. So you can have something like interfaces and place GE000. Next have GE001. Next have GE002. With that, you have your list. So let's say you have a list, but you want one specific item in the list. So for lists, you have indexes. The first one is index 0. You always have, most of the time, you'll count starting from 0, not from 1. You must have seen many memes where someone is telling the other person to let's meet at table 0. So the first one is 0, the second one is 1, the third one is 2. So to print what is on the first index, you use square brackets to access it. On the second index, use 1, that is second index, that is third index. So instead of doing this, you can also look through all the interfaces. So for interface, that's basically it on lists. I was about to introduce something on loops that you'll use going through interfaces. So maybe I'll leave that to do that, and I'll also reference list and a dictionary while doing loops. So maybe we can leave lists as that. I don't know if there are any questions up to that point.
Yes, what is the difference between a list and an array?
Okay, basically they're the same thing, but now an array, it's like different different labels, different languages have for such a data structure. If you go to another language, they are calling it array, but it's basically a list also.
Okay,
But
so
now if you are in Java, you say array, that's now same as saying a list in Python. But if you are in Python and you say an array, it will be somehow, I don't know. Yeah. So based on context.
so we will be
Basically.
revisiting the list operations later, or
Yes. Yeah, because there is that part of looping through items in a list.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, the none will proceed to dictionaries. So someone raised the hand, or okay, I had something like a notification. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
Samuel, it seems Samuel, you have a question?
Yeah, yes. My question is,
yes.
can arrays store element of the exact same data type, or can carry mixture of data types?
Okay. The best way to find out is trying. So can do something like a mixed lists. Then you can try, we can try something like string, then you put a number. So you can do mixed lists 0, mixed list 1. It can carry different types. But now, highly likely the use case of placing different type of different data types in one list. Okay, it won't make sense from a practical side, but yes, as you can see, it's possible.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, the next one will be a dictionary. The next, sorry for that. Let me just reply to someone here. The next type, let's say data type. Let me confirm with. The next I'll go to dictionaries. So I'll clear first screen and go to dictionaries. So a dictionary is a way of like, it's not a very, how will I put it, not very different from lists, but you now have labels on, if you're bundling up information, a dictionary will be better. Let's say you are bundling up information of people. So a person will have a name, age, and maybe preference of something like a fruit. And also they could have, or let's say a device. A device would be the best example. So if you have a device, you can have different informations for it. So maybe you'll have a device, you could have its IP, you could have its serial number. So you will put all that information in a dictionary. You can also have a list of dictionaries. So for, you can say device 1 and give it a name. What would be the best name? Can call it life. That's the spelling, 01. Then you can give it an IP of 10.0.0.1. Don't know if it makes sense. Then the next one will be, let's say you can add a serial number of SKD 1, 2, 3. So this way you will have bundled up the information of a device. So you can, with this, you can also have a list of devices. Then you can maybe, if you're maybe logging into those devices using SSH, and you have already defined them like this, you can look through the list which has these devices, getting the IP and connecting to it. You can also do that and enrich the dictionary with more information, because maybe at the time of logging into the device, you don't know the serial number. But there is a better way to do this, which is now OOP, object-oriented programming. Any questions up to that point? So maybe you can print device 1, device 1. Then you can also, if you need only the name from the device, you can extract it using square braces. square brackets the same way we did for lists. So you can print a device and then you print the name. So that's also the same way you will access information in a list, is the same way you will do for information in a dictionary.
So I can have a list of, a list of dictionaries.
Yes, yes. So maybe you can have device 2. You call it, can do this to save typing time. I wanted device 2 to have 2.2.124. And then you can make a list devices, device 1, device 2. Then you can print.
I think you overlap device two times, so value will be remain same. Yes.
No. It will update it.
Okay. I thought you are defining device 1 and device 2 different. Okay, sorry.
Yes, so I had already defined device 1. I was trying to copy what I had in device 1 so that I can change it, but I copied with the next line character at the end here. That's why it sent it.
Okay.
That's why I was redoing. Yeah. So can print a list devices. So you can see the list of both the list containing both the devices.
So you have the square brackets, and then now you have the curly brackets for the dictionaries.
Yes.
From this, how do I print a specific item now? If I just wanted, for example, Lifey02.
Let's say you want the name of the second item.
Yes.
So you can do list devices, get the second device, then get now the name. And that's a very good question.
Okay.
Yes, Mark.
What if I want to print the names of all the devices that I have?
So you can look through the devices. So for, I would want, can I postpone that question so that I cover it under loops? Or since we have done lists and dictionaries, we can do loops since, yeah. So for a loop, I'd prefer to do this on an editor, or I could try here. So maybe for a loop, I could go through for device. You want a list of?
A list of the names of the devices that I have.
Yeah. So names, maybe we can make now our variable to hold information for us. So I can say names of devices and put it empty so that it remains like an empty box and you're about to dump information into it. Then we can do for device in lists of devices, list devices. Yeah, so for device, so for dictionaries, so once I do for name in list, for device in list devices, when I come at this point, I already have I already have a dictionary. I'm already out of the list. I have this item here, right?
Maybe
We are good up to that.
You can print for device in list devices, print device so that we move step by step.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I can print device, then I can do another print so that see the difference. So going to next device. So it will print the first one. It gets to, so it comes here, prints that, it prints the device, prints this statement. So that was the first device, then the statement. Then prints the next device, then the statement. So if you want to print only the name, so for device in lists devices, print device name. Then you can do print going to next device name. Name is not defined. I'm supposed to, what is the mistake I did here? I'll give it back to Mark. What's the mistake I did here? Mark, you're still there?
Mark,
Okay.
please unmute.
If you're not there, I'll continue.
No, I believe he's
So
there.
for
Maybe
device,
just give him a
then
second. Or anyone who can
print.
respond. Maybe just open it to anyone who can respond so that we
And
save
not
on time.
Davis. Yeah. Not Davis.
And not Krishna.
Yeah, not Krishna.
Guys, you can unmute and respond to the question.
Okay, as the error, there's an error that says that the name actually is not defined. So we have to define the name for it to be print.
Okay, you understand the error, but that's not the mistake. Try and remember how we got,
Isaac, maybe
we
you can go
fetched
to
the data
Isaac
from
first.
it. Yeah, but you understand the error. Isaac? I see two hands.
I think the quotes, you're
Yeah,
supposed to do the quotes
correct.
for the name, yeah.
Correct. That's the answer. So for the device, print device name. Then print. You can look for that error for so long. If you're not using GPT, going to next device name. Yeah, that's it.
Using the same, can I print, for example, if I want to print the name and also the IP?
Yes,
or
yes.
I have to write another. Can I do it using the same line?
So the same line, yes, you can. So for device in list of devices, print device name. Then you can do then device IP print going to next.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I've answered you, Mark. You dodged my question. I'll be back.
Looking for the error, but now I get it.
Yeah. I'll be back for you. Let me see a second name. Yeah. Isaac?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
If you have like maybe 10,000 devices and you want to check if a specific device is in the dictionary or the list, how do you do that?
Okay, yeah, nice one. So for device in device, So for this, there's that concept of breaking and continuing. And also, I'll use this chance to answer this question and also to introduce the concept you are to also cover under fundamentals, which are conditions. So for every device, let me leave this first. Let me pass. Then what will be the name? Let's say I want to, which one do we use? So we are going to use Life2. Then it will tell us it's inside the dictionary. And then we can use Life3, and it should tell us it's not inside the list of dictionaries. So I'll use look for, and I'll say this is Life2. We are going to look for that, right? Now, for device in lists devices, we are going to check if we already have the device. Okay, for device, if the device that we found is not equal to that, we continue. So we are going to continue up to the end. So if a device name is not equal to look for, we continue. We don't even go to the next statement, we just continue. Then here we can print device not found. Device not found. Will this be the right approach? Or we say if we found the device, we print device not, we print the device, we print found. If we don't find it, we continue. Yeah, that would be a better approach. Not doing it in a, could have done this. Let me do this inside let me do this
Go back to
inside.
VS Code.
Yes,
Now
yes, so
getting
that
complicated for.
yeah, so that I have the chance to play around with things.
We can listen to my namesake, Martin.
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So my question is, if let's say you are making use of PyCharm,
Yes.
which libraries are applicable to be added to run tasks like this?
Okay. Having okay, for this first, you don't need any libraries. They all come inbuilt. But if you are using PyCharm, PyCharm is simply an editor. The same way you can open a book using different applications on your phone. So yeah, so it doesn't matter which, if you're using VS Code, you're writing it on the default interpreter, the same way I'm doing. It doesn't change anything. But now for libraries, you'll need things like maybe a virtual environment, which now your libraries will be available inside the virtual environment, and you can point PyCharm to it.
Okay, I just remembered what I actually wanted to say. My apologies for misleading you. I meant the interpreters. Sorry, man. I meant the interpreters. You know, when you type in your commands there in Python, and then the interpreter will then interpret that you are trying to say this or you're trying to say that. So which interpreters do I need to run or to perform tasks like how you're running now?
Okay, so the different versions of Python are like the different interpreters available for Python. So once you have installed Python 3, and maybe it's not seeing it might not be seeing the path to the interpreter. That's why maybe you're getting that error right now. So you could be getting an error because it's not seeing the path where Python is installed. Yeah, that's why it could be giving you some sort. I think I've seen that error before.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what you needed maybe just to mention, does Python come with its inbuilt interpreter, or does he need to install an interpreter for him to be able to do these stuffs?
No, you don't need an interpreter. It comes, if I'm to answer with options, it comes with its inbuilt interpreter. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you can please, can you please add the list of interpreters that can be added in PyCharm?
Yes, so highly likely your interpreter is in. Davis, you could also assist me to explain more on the concept of interpreters to any other person. So for this, you can see Python 3 is under this
We are
path.
still seeing the commands.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe you are sharing a different screen.
I'd gone to you're now seeing VS Code.
Yes, VS Code.
So like for this, you can see Python 3, which is installed into this path. So this will be, this is basically your interpreter. Since it's an interpreted language, once you install it, you're basically installing the interpreter, something like that. I don't know if I need to explain it in a different way.
No, I understand. Thanks, I understand.
Yeah. But in case you need any help with configuring it, you can also reach out so that I see what.
So the most interpreters that I've seen, especially from the libraries, mostly on Cisco, but Juniper no, and then the method that I was using to log into the devices was Paramiko, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Paramiko.
Yes. So okay. I think so for
is there a confusion between the interpreter or the libraries? Maybe you two could be discussing about different things.
Yes. So once you have an interpreter, you now need to sort of add libraries into your virtual environment. So if you have not, a library is simply like a code someone else wrote, but now you need to apply. Instead of reinventing the wheel, you're just getting whatever they had already written and consuming it. So you need an interpreter doesn't come when you install Python 3, it doesn't come with all the libraries that are out there for Python. So if you need to use a specific library, like let's say Paramiko, you have to install it in your virtual environment so that you can consume it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Davis.
Maybe Martin, it would be worth noting that for us interpreters convert your your script into bytecode, what the machine can understand. That's why we have the confusion. For packages that you use like NetMiko, Paramiko, anything that is a dependency, you could even be importing a JSON module from the existing code. But during installation, you don't do any, unless you are granularly looking for one particular version of Python and you want your code to run with that version, you can do it under a virtual environment to control how the behavior of your application. So I hope that helps. Interpreters convert your scripts into machine code. Your packages are
So what I'm
dependencies installed. Yeah.
what I'm trying to do is, if you take, for example, the iOS XE, and then in that iOS XE, you then enable guest shell. Say, for example, I deploy maybe IP route or OSPF or BGP, and then the output, and I then move it to the Linux container of guest shell. So those were the libraries that I was looking for. So the interpreter that I was using, yes, it's Python 3. But mostly the libraries that can that can export the outputs from iOS XE to the Linux box in guest shell. That's what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, I think then Paramiko would suffice. Establish the SSH client to your device, run a remote command, get your response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Also, we can. Thanks, Davis. So, okay, we can try and do almost a similar thing towards the end once we have covered everything that I had intended to do. We can continue. Maybe we could ask Martin to stop the recording, then we can continue with what you're trying to do. So what was the question that you had? What were we trying to do? Yeah, Martin, that's okay.
Yes, that is okay. We can proceed.
Yeah. So we were looking for, let's say we are look for. You can see what I'm typing.
Yes. Maybe you can again make it
Zoom.
bigger.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We try and zoom. I was zooming this VS Code.
Press Control and then
Plus. I
yes.
think.
Do you mind maybe changing your font, or maybe make it a bit bold?
Okay.
Sorry, man. I'm asking for too much. I do apologize.
No problem. I think let me see. But zooming up to that point, it helps. Can't find.
Yeah, that's better. That's perfect. Yes.
Yeah. So once you have now we want to look for this, then we try look for 03, then we should not find 03. That was the experiment, right? Someone had asked, we want to know if we have a device inside it or not there. So for device in I'd make another list or list devices which are now contained device device 1, device 2, Then for device in list devices, if device, the name of the device is equals to look for, we can print device found, and break. If we don't find the device, we don't print anything inside the loop, but once you are done, you can say print device not found, device not found. So how will I avoid printing this when we have already found the device? I don't know if this will be complicated, but I can just place a flag here, leave it at 0. Or even better, or even better, instead of using a flag, I can simply, if I place it there, it will print it multiple times. So placing it inside there, I want to be the best. Placing it, I'll just go with the flag then. I'll go with the flag. So I'll place a flag, keep it at 0. Then if I find the device, I'll also change flag is equals to 1. Then if not flag, I print device not found. So I'm going to run this. Live example. So it found the device. Then I'm going to change this to 3. Python 3 live example. I think I've not saved. So live example device not found. So that's how you can check.
Assuming I have that is life1 and like the name is life1, but now they have different IPs. So I want to find the device life, yes, with the name lifey, and then the IP should be .2. Can I do the 2 checks at the same time?
Yeah. So you can say look IP, and you want this IP, right?
Yes.
So what will be the best positive and negative for that? So you can say lifey2, and then you'll now add and to make sure both are correct. So and look IP and device IP is equals to look IP. We'll do that, but let's just use a variable. So I can combine both using that. So maybe I can clear, run it. So it found the device. Let's say the device, now I make the device IP wrong, the name is correct, it should not find it. That's it.
Okay, how can you explain in simple terms this break and continue? I think these are some of the things that are very hard to understand when you dive into coding. Break, continue, I've never understood them.
Yes, so actually it's exactly what it sounds in the way you say break and continue. The the meaning is the same as English. So break will stop everything and exit the loop. Continue will just go to the next item in the loop. So maybe we can do, it's usually nice to do that with the numbers. I'll just comment that out. So let's say, let me generate numbers 1 to 10 in a list. So numbers, I can say range 11. Me first ensure my syntax is correct. So range 11. So I need to want numbers up to 11. They want to use range. So I can say X for I can do something like this. Don't remember the syntax very well. So X in, need to do something like this. I'm not sure. No. Yeah, so I need to look for this syntax, or I'll just put it manually. It would have been easier to, the interest of time, I just do it manually. 4, 5, 6,
We have
7.
Davis on the call.
Davis is still there. Could assist. Just trying to remember the syntax of using range. Range could have generated it easier. So for number in numbers, but we'll have to find that syntax before we are done. So for these numbers, let's say I want to print only even numbers. So if I get for then, if I have this number and do modulo, so this will give me the remainder once you divide. So if the remainder is 0, I'll print that number. Print number. Else, if the remainder is not 0, I'll continue. But this will, okay, maybe I could place, looking for the best place to put continue.
So if
So
we were to
maybe
put break here, does it mean when we reach on number 2, it will stop? If we use
so
break.
yeah, that's what we are about to experiment.
Okay.
So if it's not equal to, if we reach 2, it should print 2. So if it's 1, it should continue. It will not reach this step. So I'll just save this first, then clear. So it's printing only the even numbers. But now if we place a break, it will not even print everything, because one already throws it out. So when you say break, if the condition is correct, it breaks. It doesn't even go to the next item. If it was here, it stops there. If you say continue, it continues and checks all the others. That makes sense.
Why don't it print. Okay. It checked condition.
So
I was
maybe
to
I
ask why it
can.
doesn't print one.
So it doesn't. Let's
Get
say
it.
let's push 1 so that it prints 2 and 4. Once it finds something that is not divisible by 2, it stops. So it prints 2, 4. It finds this is not divisible by 2. It enters into this block and breaks out. But if we have continue, but now it will enter this. If it enters this block, it won't print that number. So we can do this. So it's not, it prints 2, 4. It gets 1, it goes to the next one instead of exiting. So break removes you out of the loop. Continue takes you to the next number.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? I see time is flying. If there are none, maybe I'll just continue to I think we have now covered loops, and we have also covered conditions. So we can go to functions. So function is a way of this. What we have here could be a function, and and it being a function, you can reuse it for different numbers. So you can have different lists and pass it to it. Right now, if you are to pass another list, it will be very challenging because you might have had to copy this here, then paste, then copy the other part, then go to the next one. But if you place this inside a function, so let's say we define our function to filter numbers. We call our function filter numbers, then we pass it numbers. Then we can consume it like that, and just but now if I run this, will it work? Mark, back to you. I've not forgotten. But let me not make you a target. Any other person? If I run this, do I expect any output? So if I do this, Martin, you want to say something?
No, you will not get any output.
Yeah. So you'll not. Why is that?
Because you've just defined the function, but you haven't called the function.
Yeah, correct. So the next we have to call this function filter numbers and pass numbers to it. Then that way we can. Could have actually tried without changing anything. And maybe you can comment that out and try without it. So it doesn't do anything. We can also improve it to, instead of just printing, to return the numbers that are not, to return the even numbers. So I can place a variable here, my even. Actually, I could have asked someone to assist me, but okay. My even numbers. So instead of just printing it, I place it. It's always a bad idea to delete code. Might need it in a very few seconds later. So then we add this. We now append the number in the list. So for number in numbers, we append it. Then we, in the end of it all, we return my even numbers. Return my even numbers. Then you can then check that returned numbers. Then you can print it. Print returned numbers. You can also, just to verify, you can print also the type. Yes, that's it. That's how you can make functions and consume them. So that's all on the basics that let me just share my whole screen, but I could have issues with. Okay, I'll just change it to what I needed to share. Back now to the slides. Yeah, so we've covered you can see my screen. Okay, it's not notification. Let me reshare it. It's visible.
Not yet from my end.
What about now? Let me stop sharing and share again. Not yet. Okay, let me try and share my whole screen. It's visible.
Not from my end. I don't know whether the guys are able to see your screen. Guys, you can give thumbs up if you are able to see the screen.
Not yet. It's blank.
Maybe.
Blank.
Let me see. Let me try another window. I see if the issue is. You can see this window, right? There's a window visible right now.
No.
Maybe should I restart my browser? Maybe I can close and open it again, then get back to the call.
Okay. So let's give David 1 minute to reconnect and then we continue with the session. The chat is open. If you have any questions, you are free to send them on the chat so that we will pick them from the chat and respond to them.
It's now visible.
Not yet.
But I
yeah,
think
now it's coming maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Yes,
Hope it doesn't kill it. Oh, okay. So I think we've covered the fundamentals, which was variables, lists, dictionaries, conditions, loops, and functions. So next is modeling. So for modeling, you use, this is now where OOP comes in, object-oriented programming. So what object-oriented programming is, okay, you have a class which is basically a blueprint. So objects is like everything around us. So a person is an object, a car is an object, sheep is an object, cow is an object. So for all these objects, they have properties and behaviors. So a property is like when you see a red car. A behavior could be maybe its honk. A car honking is one of its behaviors. Maybe drive. Driving is sort of like a behavior also. So that if you transfer it now to classes, its properties and behaviors are methods. So what will be the most reasonable example is a device is an object. So that could be your router, your switch, or yeah, a router or a switch could be in your object, and it could have properties, which is host name, serial number, management IP, and also the ports. The behaviors it can have is maybe express. You can give it a behavior of express yourself. Then it says, my name is host name, my serial number is, and you can reach me through this management IP. You can give it that behavior. So maybe to like introduce yourself. So we can do one example for this. Then so we are only remaining with 30 minutes. Then we move on. So I'll go back to the interpreter and start a new file. Is it better I just share my whole screen? Avoid moving around. Okay, the view is better. Just share my whole screen.
What are you trying to hide from us?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the infinity screen. There are not so many secrets. So you can now see my screen.
Yes,
I think, yeah, so we'll now go to the interpreter. I'll just continue with my live example so that I have, in case someone needs it, I can also have just one file to share. So we can make a class device. Then for this device, we will have different properties. So if we want to, while building this class, we want to pass these properties to it so that it can now make an instance of our class, which is now an object. So for that, we will use an init function. So an init function is similar, like it's something like a constructor, but it's basically the first thing that gets called when you, so maybe I can define it here, init itself, and maybe print, yes, I was called. Then we try and make device one, which is an instance of that device, without doing anything. This should be called. We have just created an instance of the class. Yes, I was called. So it is called during creation of an object. So since we have that advantage, we can pass other things to this object, maybe the name, and IP. And you are going to store it as properties. So self.name is equals to name that has been passed, then self.ip is equals to the IP that has been passed. While creating this object, you now pass the name, which was lifey01, and you pass the IP of 10.0.0.1. This will make an instance of a class. Then we can then print the properties of that device. We can say print device.name, print device.ip. So we have, it's like we've encapsulated the data or something. Yeah. So I'll clear and run it. Device is not. What's the mistake that I did here? Who can spot the error? It's actually even giving you the answer. I'll just continue. I'll just continue.
AI in play.
Yeah. Dangerous. So that's it. It prints the name and the IP. That's properties. We've added properties to it. The next thing we talked about is behavior. So we can add a method inside here that says define introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Then for this, I can just say hello. Then I can just use a formatted string here. Then I can say hello and self.name. You can reach out using self.ip. Then I'll just now tell it here to introduce yourself. Device1 dot introduce yourself. Clear Python 3. Hello, I'm Lifey01. You can reach me out to me using 10.1. Then you can make maybe another device so that it doesn't look like coding something. To comment this out. Before commenting, you can copy it, then comment it out. Then device2. That's yeah, that's it. So a method that we have made is introduce yourself. This is the method that is called when the class is being instantiated, and then it places any other thing that you've passed in the same order. So I've gone too fast on that, but basically those are properties and behaviors.
Do you mind closing that window for the Google Meet? I think it's
Okay.
yes.
Oh, I thought it's invisible to
It's
you.
visible.
Yeah. So that is modeling. Now that basically using OOP.
Modipa has a question.
Yes.
Yes. Say say for example, you have 200 switches. Let's say a Juniper, and you want to add, let's say for example, the command spanning tree BPDU guard you know in Juniper terms, you get my drift.
Yes, yes.
So, but now let's say, for example, in those 200 switches, you are not sure of if all switches are aligned with the interface layout designs and how the cables needs to be laid out. So, is there a script that can verify if there's another switch connected to that port and then maybe skip that port? Like for example, on Cisco, you hop into the switch, type in show CDP neighbor to
Yeah, yeah.
confirm if you see another switch. I
Yes,
I
yes.
take it that with Juniper it will be LLDP. I'm assuming.
Yes, yes, yes.
So is there a script that can do that?
Yeah, yeah. So you can actually achieve that because what you'll now do is, let's say you have two devices connected to it. You need to run that command and it should show you the name of the other device and maybe the interface which your device is connected to it, right? So there are different ways of approaching it. So for Juniper, you can display data in a formatted way. Maybe can I answer your question once we get to the next part? It will make more sense.
Sure. No problem. No problem.
Yeah, remind me in case I forget. So I'll
Okay.
just note it down so that I use it as an example in the next part. And actually, maybe so after the call, we can try doing something like that to make it a bit more fun. So yeah, so for data models, which is basically using object-oriented programming, that's it. Don't know if there is any question for this up to that point, rather. Okay, then I'll go to the next slide. So now this is we are out of the basics. Now we are going to somehow how you can use it. So highly likely most of you, I don't know, maybe you can confirm it or say that's a lie. You're really likely having a set of commands that you use daily in somewhere like Notepad or any other editor. Then if you need to apply it to another device, you take the same template you have, change a few of the things, then SSH paste. Are you guilty or not? Maybe someone can say. Yeah, so basically that's someone raised their hand. Karaoke.
Yes, karaoke.
Okay, maybe it was
Did
by
it
mistake.
by mistake. Yeah, just continue.
Yeah, so most of the time or most of the people will do that since you don't want to remember the whole command or something towards that. So if you have that right now, the fastest way for you to automate that is you can use Paramiko, but now it's almost like bare metal maybe. So it won't be the very, very best. So maybe NetMiko will be better because it has sort of like, let's say, improvements. So for for NetMiko, what you need to do is import the connection handler, then pass your device to it with all the information it has, then have the commands you need to be executed on the device. Then you can send the commands to it. So for that, we have an example here. So for the configuration, I have a very simple setup here, which is just a Juniper router. Then with that, I've just connected it here to a cloud so that I'm able to access it from my terminal, so from the host machine. So just added this cloud here to get that connection. After that, let me just zoom this out a bit. And that was too much. After that, we have a NetMiko example here. So you can use once you have the definition of this device inside the dictionary, you place the host, username, password into it. Then you'll pass this to the connection handler, which we've imported from NetMiko, and then send the commands and commit. Then it will have completed. So I had already done for a few interfaces. So maybe I'll go to the device and show. Let's move this. Show. Make it half so that they have a place to place it. Zoom in. Zoom a bit. So I can show interfaces. Just showing, rather I should show interfaces descriptions. So these are the interfaces that I already configured to ensure everything is working. So we are going to do another set, which is now using interfaces 456. So the first one we are going to use NetMiko, and the others we are going to use other different methods. So for NetMiko, this is all you have to do. Have your device, which now contains the information of the device and the commands that you need to pass it. So I had already prepared the next one here. So we are going to set 004 to this IP and place a description that it was configured using NetMiko. So I'll just comment this out and comment this in. Can even remove it completely to avoid getting an unexpected behavior. I can proceed to run this. Proceed to run it. So the expectation is these commands, it will log in into the router which is under this IP. Then using these credentials, run these commands and commit. So we have 15 minutes. Oh.
The small teams window came back again. I don't know whether you can still.
Yeah.
Okay. That is
It's,
better. Actually, you can just
then,
close it. It won't close the.
Oh, it won't harm anything.
It won't.
So I'm struggling to move it around unnecessarily. Can't even find it now. So
yeah, it won't close the teams.
And that's better. That's better. So let me run. Now I'm running this, so you can see it has printed here connected to device. Could have also added other information, so it's executing the commands. And just go to the other side to confirm it has completed. So it should have now completed. Which means something. I think it was this fairly likely the issue. Wait. This is the issue here. Then something wrong there. Do that. And it's again. Is it getting a syntax error? Is it trying to send a empty? Oh, I didn't save it. Let me just make sure. I think it's trying to send an empty command because of the last comma. Let's see. It's done the commit, but it's also getting something else. But it should have completed. So it has configured the fourth int. So we can go to the next one. The issue actually could be here in the output. Yeah, but that's it. It has done the configuration of the fourth interface that is using NetMiko. The other example is using netconf, which is basically using SSH under the hood. So for that, you're going to configure the fifth interface. So I'll just change this. And run it. So, okay, for both, you'll definitely need to pass first the what if I was to share this code with you, you'll mainly need to change the device and the commands that you want to pass. Most of the things don't change. So we're going to configure the fifth one. Configure the fifth interface once it's complete. Getting another change. Just look at that. So yes, there's nothing in this side. Might delete timeout. Move any other. Let me deactivate this session. Exit. There's the root. And run it again. So once and check and finish the configuration of the fifth interface. So then, the next one is like using REST APIs. Okay. I'll need to let me just run through each of them. Then we can now go through it one by one, since I see we have about 7 minutes. So the next one is we'll use it for the 16th interface. Going to replace this and just change this. Change the IP. And after that, can also change this. It is now using RESTconf. And the fifth one is not yet configured. Let's give it a few. So it's done. I think it's done. So it has completed. So okay. So that was just a run through of using the 3 different ways. First, you can start with NetMiko, since it's a bit can I say obvious, something like that. It's a bit, it makes more sense coming from writing commands. Then next you can go and explore netconf and RESTconf. So maybe I went past my slides, but okay, the next one's, so that is after NetMiko going to netconf and RESTconf, it's better because you have a bit more of a structured way to send data. So let's say, for example, for RESTconf, Juniper, you have the chance to use PCs and there's an explorer for that. So once you configure it on the device, you can open that port and explore using different RPCs. So let's say if you want the interfaces description, so this will now to Martin. So I'm not sure of how it works in Cisco, but it's something into. If you
Sorry.
have, yes.
Mhm. Oh, sorry, I missed what you said. Do you mind repeating?
Yeah, so this will make sense now for your use case, where you need to know all the ports that are connected to another switch by looking at its neighbors, CDP neighbors. So in Juniper, once you have a command, you can get the something like a call used to the output. So you'll do that, show interfaces descriptions. Then display XML RPC. I said something but didn't type it. You'll then get this. This is your RPC of interest. So I'll just place my password here. You need to get. I need to make it a post. Need a place to place, but also what I can do is just place this, get interface information. It's the alternative. Let me check this. I need a way to place the data, so maybe I can use this, which is way better. Should give me the, so you should see here the description of the interfaces. So once you have this RPC, you could see what the command is doing. But now the advantage of RESTconf and NetConf, you get it in a more formatted, you get a more formatted output, which is easy to read programmatically. Since you can see the description is enclosed in very specific names, it will be easier to read this from let's say something like Python, because it is well formatted as compared to plain text, since you'll have to do something like a regex, something like a wild search. So yeah, so you'll get data back in XML format. You'll likely send it also through an XML format. So that is the advantage of using that RESTconf and NetConf. So it will be easier to pass, and there are actually ways, different ways of passing it. So once you load the data, you'll read it the same way we went through reading dictionaries, if it's in a JSON format. And you can also, for an XML, it's something like a tree. So you see a physical interface, you get its admin status, everything under the physical interface. Then you get another physical interface having those different information under it. So there are different libraries that can help you to read XML data. I chose to go a bit deeper in because that is the response you get for most of the Juniper RPC requests. So you can use XPath, you can change it to a JSON, which is a dictionary, and then now read that dictionary. You can use the element tree that will just find name or physical name. Then the other netconf. So for netconf, this is the skeleton of how you'll consume it. So Juniper gives you a library PyEZ for doing the rest of operations. So maybe I can go back to netconf. So this is the library specifically from Juniper. For other vendors, let's say like Cisco, it might be different. I've not gone deeper into that. Yeah, so once you get the RPC like we did, you get the XML response and you can go through it. You can now play around with your data. Now, let's say if it's the same case for Cisco, once you get show CDP neighbors, that is for Martin, you can extract any information under that response and now place it to something that maybe like an Excel file, maybe you want to analyze or send it to someone, and then you can output that data specifically there, and it will be easier to understand it from that. Yeah, the other one was HTTP, which is now RESTconf. You use normal requests, the same that any other application would use, which is mainly GET and POST. So for Juniper, during configuration, you place the port which the requests are expected, and you will get back the response also, as you have found it here, as XML. Then you can consume the data. So that's basically it. We are past with 3 minutes, but at least we've been able to go through everything. So I think that's all for the session. I went a bit fast towards the end, but I hope it was useful. Any questions? So Martin, you could stop recording so that now we can sort of go freestyle or something.
Yes, we can first take the questions. If anyone has a question about what you've discussed, we can cover it and then we can shift to a free discussion.
Okay.
Guys, if you have any question, feel free to unmute and ask your question, or if you have a comment or a request, you are allowed to bring it on. Just unmute and proceed. Any question from the team?
Okay.
I believe then we are good. Maybe just need to again appreciate you, David, for your time. I know it takes time to prepare for this session and also the willingness to share your knowledge with the rest of the team. Coding is not easy. I tried it some years back, gave up many times, but again, I'm still trying to relearn and improve my skills in Python also. So we appreciate your time and effort in sharing your knowledge in Python with the team. And as network engineers, of course, we are looking forward on how we can integrate this knowledge, the networking and also the programming part, so that we can also make our daily work easy. So thank you so much for your time and effort in sharing your knowledge, and we hope to keep engaging more on this Python path so that we can all be able to do some basic automations and write some scripts that can simplify our daily operations. Many of us, we are stuck on CLI. That one I can confirm. We like typing the commands one by one, but at least you've shown us that it's possible to make things easy and let the machines work and do some things for us. So from my end, I appreciate so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, I also appreciate the information. Is it possible to have a session regarding Ansible?
Yes. Actually, yes. We can do it. I also have a bit of a learning path, but we can do it. So maybe, is there something you want to achieve with it? It
So
will make more sense.
so with Ansible, not really something specific to achieve, but because it's agentless and it is less complex, and also the reason I like it is because you can run it in Windows, you can run it in Linux, you can run it anywhere. So if I can have a thorough understanding of the Juniper, the Ansible automation, that will be good.
Okay. I think we can do that. Yeah, if Martin will give us another session, we can do it.
Okay.
So maybe Martin will make arrangements, then I can prepare, since I've not used it a lot. I'll explore it and try it out in the lab. Then we can have that session. So
Okay.
yeah. So maybe that's.
Yes, the session was recorded and it's being recorded, so we'll share. This is from NAD. I believe that will be it for the session. Thank you guys for joining. I believe, David, you have something that you needed to check offline, so I will stop the recording and then we can just continue to interact on the
Okay.
call, so that if there is any other issue that needs to be addressed, we can discuss it separately. For those who want to attend to their own issue, they can also drop and attend to their personal issues. Thank you guys for joining. So let me stop the recording.